Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. In today's video, with the free gear removal that's on right now, I wanted to show you what I've updated with my builds so far and sort of what I'm thinking about what I'm doing. Also, do have a giveaway that I'm actually running a little bit early because I often forget to do these giveaways, so we're doing it early this time. What you have to do is actually very simple. Simply put your UM number in a comment, right? So put your UM number in, and in that comment, as well as the UM number, tell me what type of videos you want to see me do, right? Are there any types of videos you would like to see more of? And yeah, that's it. I'm just curious to get your feedback, and this seems, I don't know, I think it's smart anyway. Get feedback by giving people a giveaway. I should tell you what it's for. There will be 5 winners. This is the first part of the content creator giveaways I get to do every month, thanks to the content creator program from Plarium. So 5 winners for 540 gems each. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's a nice chunk of extra energy to get you through the fusion, seeing as the upcoming fusion looks to be absolutely, totally batshit insane. I threw up a poll today. Actually, let me see how that poll's going, and then I'll show you. I've done some fairly substantial changes to the gearing. Where is the poll? Bring it over here. Playing my video. Okay, if I come over to the community, yeah, we've got 500 votes so far. S tier 41%, A tier 47%, B 7%, C 1%, and D 4%. Interesting. So yeah, that's how that poll is going so far. Right then, let us dive into it. So, what have I done so far? I've done several updates, and by the way, in the description box for basically all my current videos are now being updated with my raid optimizer link. So if you want to see on the Hell Hades optimizer how I have built my champions, you can follow that link down there and you can see it, and I try to keep it updated pretty frequently. What have I changed? So, one small thing, which was actually inspired by a really good collaboration. Sorry, Saf. I always manage to pause. I didn't even know I did this. I managed to pause it on a terrible position. I always get the worst faces for Saf. Hang on. Let's try get a good face. Can we get one where they're smiling? Okay, there we go. That's it. Perfect. 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 But this was an amazing collaboration between Big Papa Drock and Saf. I actually watched both parts. Very good. Long collaboration, but very worth watching. They were actually talking about the Rotus build and masteries. I actually realized I had not great masteries on my Rotus. I've done it slightly differently from what they did in the video. I went for Ruthless Ambush. But it's a real toss-up between that and Whirlwind of Death, right? That extra speed is real juicy. The big first hit on each enemy is pretty juicy as well. So I wasn't sure which way to go. I'm trying it like this first of all. But yeah, a bit of a mix-up to the Rotus masteries, which should be good. So for example, improve parry to help keep him alive. Bloodthirst to heal him up. That can be pretty nice, especially like if he goes above the half HP mark. And again, that stops him being one-shot, which is really good. Actually got him Cycle of Revenge, extra turn meter. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes, but slightly tweaked the Rotus build. So that was a small thing, but substantial. Now, one really big, actually, series of reworks. These are all related to a team I was showing off recently. I've actually rebuilt Ruella. All right, Ruella is coming in. She's not fully rolled up. Doesn't matter. In triple perception right now. Key things with her. 2 key stats for the particular team. 280 speed. She needs above 270. And 512 accuracy. Again, I think she needs 525, but her mastery, this mastery here, the charge focus, is making up for that. It gives her the extra 20 that she needs. But she has been rebuilt entirely. Why have I done that? Well, you guys that watched my CVC stream last time will know we were struggling a bit with Sand Devil stage 25. Previously, I was using a slow Kyrmar, reset, instead of a Yumiko, and we were using Romanu, because Romanu puts out a lot of 4 debuffs, right? Including decreased defense and weaken, and we need this for the boss. Now, obviously, Riho Bone Spear is ideal, but I don't have her. I've actually switched Romanu for Ruella. Now, Ruella only does 3 debuffs, but because she only has a triple hit, that means we can actually run a fast Yumiko, because you can hit the boss 4 times before he wakes up. So Yumiko can land her Hex, so we still have the 4 debuffs. Right? With Romanu, you can't run anyone fast because he does 4 hits. If you do 1 extra hit, boss wakes up early and you die. So now we've got a fast Yumiko with Ruella. And what's really great, Ruella, as you can see, beautiful, runs really well. We're slightly wrong because, Sifi takes 2 turns at the end, which slows us down 1 turn. It's blisteringly fast, so it doesn't really matter. But Ruella, we have her open with her decreased defense, weaken, and decreased speed. And then she has a turn meter boost. And again, this turn meter boost is really helpful to make sure that the newts, who are a bit slower at 250 and 255 and 251, that they get their second hit in on the boss before he takes a turn. I suppose Sifi getting 2 whirlwind romances off, make sure that they get turn meter boosted up and they take that turn. But yeah, this is the setup. It's beautiful. And this has basically fixed the problem. Why does this work so well? Well, let me get the maths up for you real fast. Okay, there we go. Just typed it up for you so we can run through it real fast. But basically, the way to do this is to, and you can do the same thing, by the way, with shard pulls, right? But it's basically you work out the chance to fail. With Romanu, right? Romanu, he has a 3% chance to fail because unless your debuff is irresistible, which, by the way, makes Sifi the best one for this one, right? She is the best because her sleep cannot be resisted. This is a 100% success chance. Every debuff that does not have this text cannot be resisted. As you know, no matter how much resistance you build, or no matter how much accuracy you have, there will always still be a 3% chance just randomly to be resisted. There's also a 3% chance just randomly to succeed to place your debuff no matter what as well, I'm pretty sure. Though that's not super relevant, but it does happen from time to time. Romanu can be resisted, okay? And he only gets 1 shot at placing it. So he gets 1 attempt to place decreased defense, 1 attempt for weaken, 1 attempt for decreased speed, and 1 for block buffs. And that's where the problem you run in with Romanu. A 3% chance to miss that decreased defense is basically a 3% chance to fail. Ruella has a 70% chance to place her debuff. We can increase that with masteries to 75% chance. So off the top of it, that sounds kind of bad. Romanu, like 97% chance. Ruella, 3 75% chances. Which is better? Well, the way it works out, with 3 25% chances to fail to place decreased defense or weaken, basically the maths is this. So you've got, well, with a 25% chance, it's a 1 in 4. So 1 in 4, you put it to the power of 3, right? You multiply basically 1 in 4 by 1 in 4 by 1 in 4. Then we times that by 100 to get the percentage chance, and it's actually 1.56%. This makes her significantly more reliable than Romanu, right? She basically fails half the time that Romanu does for both decreased defense and weaken. So she is much, 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 much more reliable than Romanu. And like I said, it also enables us to come in and to run, a fast Yumiko, which means we get the same amount of debuffs. So that's great. I mean, if you wanted this to be even more consistent, you could put her in Toxic, which is a 75, it would mastery up to 80% chance for a poison. And again, that poison, the extra debuff, is giving you more damage reduction bypass on the boss. So yeah, there is still a chance for this to fail. I think it will succeed even if you miss the weaken. But if you miss the decreased defense, you should fail. Like, there's no way, I think, that you pass this run without decreased defense. Unless you had absolutely crazy gear on the newts, there's just no way that you would succeed. So yeah, this basically now has, instead of, best case scenario with Romanu would be, okay, we can survive missing some other debuffs, but decreased defense is missed, you fail, 3% chance to fail. We've halved that down. And yeah, it's been more consistent. So I've run this a whole bunch of times. With Romanu, it was failing a good bit because he had multiple 3% chances sort of to miss each debuff. Ruella, way more consistent, also can slap cruelty on her. So with a higher blessing and more cruelty, she's going to reduce the defense of the boss, which is, again, going to make the newts hit way harder. So potentially even with a very high cruelty blessing, which is easier to get because she's an epic, hey, great. It might be even easier with the newts to slam it out. So this has been a big upgrade. We're now like a super consistent run for this, which is fantastic. We've got just my standard arena build on the Sifi and the Yumiko. So very happy with that one. Put this all in the one note. What else have I changed? Well, because of that, interestingly enough, it does mean Romanu. And this is actually very much, very much inspired by another great video, which was from Authentic, another great content creator with really good, he's from Mad, really good arena stuff. I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about almost this exact build on Romanu. Mine's not as good as his, but I basically switched it over to bring Romanu back into arena, right? something I've been thinking about. Polymorph is obviously still very prevalent and it wrecks him, but he's much better. Before he had basically double chances to proc Polymorph, once off the buff removal, then once off the debuff. Now it's only one time. And obviously on his A2, this used to be like 4 chances to proc Polymorph. It was almost guaranteed you'd be screwed. It only happens once now. So he's much better after the Polymorph initial nerf. If they ever nerf Polymorph again, he'll get even better. And certainly I was even very much inspired to do this with the new mission champion. I was like, yeah, go back to Romanu. I've been thinking about this for a long time, but I've got him rebuilt, put him into 4-piece stone skin. And the reason being that now that he's free of Sand Devil, we can run him a bit slower. He actually does have enough accuracy, funny enough, but we can run him slower. And I've actually built him with damage. And finding this to be kind of fun and kind of effective. The idea is that now he can be good for live arena. And he can function even in sort of go second teams. So the goal is to have him be basically my fastest damage dealer, faster than all my other damage. That's really the goal. Even just 1 speed faster than my damage, so that we can put him in as a secondary damage dealer who goes before the other damage. But he, again, has with 521 accuracy, he's got a very good chance to strip their buffs, which is great. To place block passive skills, which is great. Like, he's a pretty good chance to just kill Sun Wukong now, which is great with block passives. There's obviously a chance with the masteries, right? What is it? This one, this mastery really messes him up with this build. Watch out for that. There's a 50-50 to remove the debuff. So that sucks because against a squishy target, he's always going to hit them harder than this. So Resurgent is a huge problem for Romanu still, sadly. But Sun Wukong, for instance, is much more likely to go offense, tree, and support for the extra accuracy. So yeah, might be fine, you know, which is nice. So yeah, he's been pretty good against Wukong. I've been using him a little bit. We can obviously ascend his gear to make him stronger, but yeah, about 5,000 attack, 250 speed, 500 accuracy, and then as much basically as much attack and crit damage as I could give him. And yeah, he's pretty cool. Sadly, my faction guardians for lizards absolutely sucks. We don't even have the attack at the moment. So the attack would be nice. The accuracy resistance would be real nice as well. So we'll work on those and get him to it. But yeah, he's in Helm Smasher now. And yeah, Stone Skin lets him stay alive and strips or no matter what. And he's been pretty fun. Like, let me give you a little showcase of him and we'll see how we do. I mean, let's go up against this nasty team. Here we go. I've been trying out this sort of team, just trying it out, seeing how it goes. Might win, might lose, not sure. But yeah, hopefully he will come in now to live arena and actually be quite useful. Whereas before, he wasn't super useful. So we actually put our buffs on first. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna, again, so we go in and we strip. We've actually blocked passive. So this is nice because, okay, well, he just got cleansed. So that slightly sucks. He's very squishy, so he's died. But like, we could come in and now we could nuke and, you know, we might start flopping over here. One thing I've done, let me see if this fixes it. Yeah, so one problem I ran into, and look at that, like his A2 actually claps. His single target damage is kind of massive, right? That A2 claps. One problem I had with this particular team was that I had Wukong in the lead for the speed aura. The problem is that in that situation where everybody dies, Elva will revive the lead person, which is Wukong, which is a huge waste. Whereas there, you're much better off reviving Romanu and letting him do his move, and he benefits from the increased attack because Wukong's going to revive himself. Like, let's see if we can make it work against this team right here. We might actually just die to Nishak. No, Elva, he didn't do his A2. That's a mistake from him. Elva will cleanse her. Lovely. And then we strip their stuff off, and like, he's kind of clapping, you know? Damage really not bad, and Wukong, I think he did. Wukong just did 600,000 damage to Arbiter. I'm pretty sure I saw that right. He smacked a Nishak who was squishy and almost dead and just clapped them. So it's a pretty fun combo. And yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of neat. And I'm excited to try out some more Romanu, probably do a proper showcase on it. Like I said, Authentic already did one. I might give sort of my own take on it and stuff like that. But I thought it was a good build. I actually think, honestly, he's quite nice in the stone skin because it lets you do a go second Romanu, which is kind of cool. He could even work in just pure damage, right? I mean, you could even just build him as a damage dealer and not build much accuracy. Just slap on like 200-300 accuracy so he debuffs damage dealers, right? And he could work. He's an interesting champ. But yeah, his A2 really claps especially because it puts decreased defense on the first hit. So Polymorph's a problem, but man, That was a fun one. What else have I done? Kymar. Prince Kymar. Interestingly enough, now that we don't need the slow Kymar for Sand Devil, and now that we're running the Arix strategy, again, check out my video on Arix and Rathalos, who can now solo hard Spider. I don't need him to reset for Spider either. We're able to put Kymar back into speed gear, so I've actually got him in a pretty sick build. We now have 4-piece Stone Skin, so we've got a Stone Skin shield, but he's also really fast. I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm curious. So he's now speed tuned in with my Seafy. So yeah, again, he could come into live arena. So he's fast. I think this guy could work pretty darn well. Kymar could work really well with the new fusion. Arman's the Magnificent. He's got good accuracy. And again, he's got an accuracy banner, hasn't been rolled up. So we can improve this stuff even further with the next artifact enhancement event. But I'm curious to try him out, like Stone Skin and all of that. I've been trying more and more so. This is a big move at my account, big power creep in the game. As these Hydra Clash accessories are starting to actually build up in a meaningful way on my account, we're actually being able to get people with these accessories and have this one-turn Stone Skin build, which is, let's be real, kind of busted, right? Like Narcisse now, he's in Stone Skin and Savage, which is disgusting. We've got Bolster and one-turn Stone Skin on Ancora. Like, they are just a disgusting pair. So that's been pretty huge. Yeah, I guess that's one thing that's worth mentioning with the blessings. Heaven Cast, this was another idea from Saf, and I do think this is correct as well. Heaven Cast is really powerful now. I tend to run Narcisse with like Seafy and Ancora, so he gets a lot of buffs. You get a bunch of damage for each buff, so even at 1 star, Heaven Cast is really good. I think the blessings I like on Narcisse are either Heaven Cast for more damage, which is great, or at higher ranks, I think Life Harvest could be good, which is going to, give him more turn meter when people revive and stuff like that. I think both are strong options, but Heaven Cast is very strong. So we switched Narcisse into Heaven Cast. Who else have I switched over? Yes, again, Rathalos into Heaven Cast. Again, I think this is a Saf tech. Saf is big on Heaven Cast, and I think it's absolutely correct. Again, 1% more damage for each buff. Let's say we've got 5 buffs on him in Hydra. 5% more damage. That's pretty juicy when he hits so hard. So yeah, Heaven Cast is spreading around to more characters. I'd already myself put Heaven Cast on Turold. Turold has been upgraded. Stay tuned for a Turold video, guys, coming soon. I'm very excited to get back to Turold in Hydra. I've used him before and loved him, so he's looking pretty swanky. 7k attack, 235 speed, 300% crit damage, which is juicy, juicy, juicy. He is in Savage with a bit of Righteous as well. And we've got room actually to crank his speed higher. We've got speed on the boots. We just need some of the oils to upgrade that for an extra chunk. He'd be above 240 speed, so he'd be looking pretty good. I think his chest is, attack percent with attack. This is a beautiful piece right here. And then he's got these gloves. If they were upgraded, my God, they've got double roll and attack percent, speed. They've even got crit rate, flat HP. Could be HP percent, but they're insane gloves once they get reworked. I think I've already tried a few times and it's got stuck. And we've got a really juicy shield, really juicy to combo with this attack chest. So I'm very happy with the Turold. He has, by the way, Helm Smasher with the Savage. He'd be even more insane and Merciless, but it might mess him up because he tends to sort of spam his A2. It's a bit awkward, maybe. So Merciless might go wonky. But I'm planning to bring him in with Hydra with my Freshie. This is a big change, guys, for me. Chrisk has been in Perception gear forever, and this actually frees up a lot of good Perception gear because Chrisk, finally, at last, thanks to the 3x Cursed event we had in Ice Golem this week, I farmed it a lot because it was on during Clan v Clan. I pumped energy into it. I said, let's go. This is my time. We finally got Chrisk into Cursed set, which is amazing because Chrisk doesn't attack on his A3, but his A2, his A1 are AoE attacks. So he scales super well with Cursed. He can be your hex provider for the team on top of everything else he does. So I'm very happy with this. And he's still in a solid build with 4k defense, 75k HP, 259 speed, and he's got the resist and accuracy he needs for Hydra. And indeed, when I give him my Hydra bonuses, like 400 accuracy, 516 resistance, he is really good to go. And he's still running War Master, which is really nice. So Chrisk, he's looking good. He's looking good. I still think Lasting Gifts is worth it to make his mischief tanking more consistent. You could run him with Sniper to make his decreased speed and Hex more consistent. So we'll see. Maybe I'll switch that up. But right now, very happy with this. I'm really looking forward to test him out. And yeah, that's basically, I can tell you my plan right now. I'll be doing a video on it. Hopefully it works. But like, I had been running on brutal difficulty. I've been running this team. We did a video on this last time with Vulcan, who's great. But he doesn't have any blessings with Chrisk and Gwendolyn. This was a nice little team. Vulcan brings AoE damage, lots of it, and Hex. I'm very intrigued to actually, now that we've got the AoE Hex at Chrisk, to see if we can bring in Turold, right? Turold, because he self-buffs, kind of needs a Mischief Tank. We've got that with Chrisk. We've got increased attack with Arbiter. Yeah, Turold actually does bring a weaken as well on his A1. You know, with a good chance to place it, but he doesn't have enough accuracy. But we've got accuracy aura from Gwendolyn and increased accuracy from Gwendolyn. So she will enable Turold to place the weaken. And Arbiter can also be placing weakens with her A1. So that's a potentially pretty nice team. Quite a squishy team. You know, you could, in theory, with good gear, with survivable, again, probably not going to happen. If we had 3-star blessings on these champs so they get the defense bonus, then maybe we could start talking about it. And if I upgraded my defense bonuses more for Hydra, we could bring in like a Lady Mikage when we eventually got her. And the ally attack would be very decent. I don't know. It's something to consider, but I think we really want the Arbiter or the Revive, to be honest. I think Turold's too squishy. But that's an exciting thing. Chrisk finally into Cursed. And then I think the last few changes we put in, I'm pretty sure, as of right now, I've been doing some arena testing, like really messing with teams. And I had a couple of fights where there was one fight in particular where it was a Warlord in 6-star temporal chains. It was 6-star. But dear Lord, you were we had I had Mithrala and she wasn't getting locked out, so she was still buffing my team. I was testing out like how do my defenses work against teams, and that Warlord, number one, he was decreasing our speed by 15%. He was doing all this turn meter pushback, and the 6-star temporal chains Warlord was just keeping us perma locked out. Right, he was just spamming it and there was just no escape. There was nothing we could do because it's only a 4-turn cooldown. Skills on cooldown, fully depleting our turn meters, the temporal chains. It was just wrecking my team. Like we couldn't get any of our skills back. On like my champs around 250 speed. I think Wukong in there with the speed aura, and he was just running circles around us. I think he was Sifi Warlord. I was like, okay, temporal chains. I need to get this more in my life. So I've actually switched Yumiko, Mithrala, and I think Kyrmar, who's only 1-star, so it doesn't make a huge difference. But I switched a few champions, a couple so far over to temporal chains to try that out, and yeah, tested a bit more. I had them in polymorph before, not Mithrala, but the others were in polymorph, so we switched that around, and we'll see how that does. I think Mithrala was in Brimstone, which wasn't really being very useful, to be honest. Like, it just goes on someone random in Hydra, and it wasn't very useful. So temporal chains is useless, I think, for Hydra. I don't think it works against that. Maybe it does. I don't think it does against Hydra heads. They don't really have many buffs anyway, but I think it could be decent for Arena. I mean, we'll see. So yeah, they are the changes I put in so far. Let me know what you have done so far with your free regearing period. Unfortunately, I've kind of reached, this is the limit I reach. I very easily these days. I've got so much stuff to upgrade. Like, we're blasting way past the artifact enhancement threshold. And it's like, I've still got lots of silver. I kind of go, man, I should probably be saving this for, you know, the fusion. There's just constantly events these days. It's non-stop. So trying to save up more for that. Oh, one champ I didn't mention, I've been trying a little bit, is Karato, trying to bring him back in a bit. So he's in decent gear, actually. He's a little slow, but, you know, and he only has the 1-star blessing. So if he got 2-star blessing even, the bonus attack, he's got good crit damage. His speed's a bit low, but I think we can... I think his boots have speed. He's going to get another 7 speed, I think, from that. So 7 more speed. He's going to be up almost 220. Again, it's a tiny bit slow, but I'm interested to try him out, especially because I've got Yumiko. Interested to try him a little bit. He hasn't been super successful. He doesn't hit very hard. Does Karato, unfortunately. But that's something I've been trying out a little bit as well. Anyway, there you go. There are all the things I've been trying. Hopefully you found this kind of interesting and different type of video. Again, don't forget to do the giveaway. Remember, share your number in the comment below to win 540 gems and tell me what type of videos you want to see in the future. I'll tell you right now, there's a very good chance I'm really crossing my fingers. I've got a ton of soul stones. Hopefully there's a nice event on with this awakening boost event that they've been talking about coming this week. But I'll probably be pulling soul stones on like Tuesday or whatever when that happens. So who knows? Maybe we'll get. I put this stuff in. Narcissus and Rotus are really looking for some big 6-star souls. Never gonna happen, but we can dream, right? We can dream. I put Ruella in there for more cruelty, just for Sank. Why not? Why not? Right? Guys, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.